Part 2, Paul Sykes. When we went on the Jimmy O show, where I did a show with Jimmy O from Wigan, we did a thing there, and obviously the fake author come with us, and he went on and he was saying that Paul Sykes was the best swimmer in the world. He said he was that good, he could beat anyone. I said, what, even Mark Spitz? Well, Mark Spitz was the world champion Olympic swimmer. I think he won at seven gold medals he got in the Olympics. He broke the world records and everything. He said he was better than him as well. So up to range, because he was a lifeguard at Blackpool, he was a good swimmer, but he always has to make things like, he said if something being 10, it has to be 100 with him. It always has to be exaggerated. Grand delusions he's got. Borderline personality disorder, BPD is called. And he's saying Paul Sykes was doing this and doing that. No, Paul Sykes had 10 fights. I'm not being disrespectful to the other boxers, but none of them were any good fighters. None of them were not, and there was 9 of them he fought, and none of them were great boxers. They were all like 3 fights and 2 losses and a draw, 1 winning out of 4 fights and 2 draws and things like that. You know, there was no one exceptional. And he was fighting these people, and I think he got disqualified for 1. No, he drew him 1, sorry, and he lost 3, and he won 6. So he went, and that was in Cockerill when he went to fight John L. Gardner. John L. Gardner was an exceptional boxer. I think he was 29 fights, 29 wins, I'm sure. And he fought him, I think it was Blackpool he fought him. And he used to come to Middlesbrough Sykes with the Spencers, because they were boxing promoters, but Dave Garsley, he was another, he boxed with them. So he used to come down here, and he come down here and he started being cheeky one night in one of the clubs, and the lads offered him out in there, and they had to get him out of the club. They were shouting, he's still fucking the YPs, so even they were on about it. And another thing, what we were at, when we went to the snooker centre, which you can look on, a night with Brian Cockerill snooker centre, Bishop Auckland, on there, the so-called authors talking about me, talking about Lee, talking about this one. And as soon as he mentioned Sykes, he went, hey, oh, and I was screaming in the crowd. He said, he raped my fucking nephew, that dirty bastard in Durham. Another one said he sexually assaulted my fucking brother-in-law in jail. He cut his wrist. And then Davo, my mate, Davo's best friend there, Mark Davison from Durham. The lads were from Durham from there, and there was lads from Bishop Auckland and lads from Hartlepool all turned on him because they were talking about Paul Sykes. And yeah, nobody liked him in there, so we had to change it. So we had to take the mic off him and go and sit him down, because he was going to get filled in talking about Paul Sykes. So that says it all. Even though the people in there couldn't stand him, lads who'd been in jail knew him as well, knew he was a rapist. But getting to the big story, because I've done a little bit of this already. You've heard some of this often, so I'm building up to the big bit. But I've got proof now. He's going. He said, the fake author went, I spoke to a police officer, and he never ever got convicted. No, I'll tell you why in a minute, but I'll just tell you about the rest of the things. When he was in Armley, I was in where was it called? Wealdstone, near Thorpe Arch. It was a jail there called Wealdstone then, and you would finish off in there. The life, I think it's the one where they're in now, where the life is finished off. It's near the training ground for Leeds United football team, and there were lads in there who knew Sykes and said he was in with another lad from another area, and both of them were getting two of them were getting 1 kid having threesomes with a young lad in there. They locked themselves in the cell with him and that, and it was happening time and time again. Kid in there cut his wrist, another kid tried to hang himself in there. So all the stories were coming out about the truth in that, but none of it could be proven, because it was this one he said and that one. This was said, and when he used to go to Durham, the schools used to say, do you want to, YPs were called young prisoners. When you got allocated then in them days, you went to jail first, say 16-year-old, 17, 18-year-old, you'd go into jail, and then they'd allocate you maybe 2 or 3 weeks time to whatever place they'd think you were. Watch Borstal, be a nasty Borstal, or one that was okay, your temperament was like, so they'd allocate you. So he would be raping the kids in that jail then, because he was on their wing. He was a cleaner on that wing, Sykes. Just a fucking horrible man. And when he was in Acklam, when he was in Armley, he was doing it in there to kids as well. But when he was out of jail, he'd go into pubs, and he'd go into pubs where, you know, like a family bar, like a bistro they call them, or a Toby Carberry. People would all having the meals, would be like the mum, the dad, the nanas, all them type of people would be sitting eating the meals at the meal on a Sunday. He'd come in pissed, walk up and spit in the drinks. People would just push the drink away and he'd drink it. He said, you, what Paul, I don't know trouble mate, I'm with my family, I'm with my wife and my kids. get on that fucking pool table now. And he made them stand on the pool table. This is off the author told me this. He made them stand on the pool table in front of maybe 100 people in the pub and sing Hickory Dickory Dock, the mouse ran up the clock. And he'd have them singing songs in nursery rhymes, bullying these people with these horrible things. So he did it with one kid in Wakefield. I told you this. The lad got a stool and smashed him to pieces. From Wakefield he was for this lad. I thought he was from Leeds. He wasn't. And another time we had trouble. It was in Leeds. There was a lad down there, I won't say his second name, he was called Terry. And he smashed Sykes to pieces, battered him all over the pub, and everyone in the pub was cheering like mad. Another little beat him up, so you have to patch out. No, more to come.